Hello everyone. So, was asked to finally do a video of the early 1950s Eureka automatic that I got a few weeks ago. And as you can see, it's in pretty good condition. It's not by any means a hothouse flower. It definitely has scrapes and bumps and nicks and what have you, but it was complete and it runs fabulously well. It is a 2-speed, like most of Eureka's top-of-the-line units ended up being later, but these were top-of-the-line really when they were introduced. This machine came to me with a cloth bag, but I decided to put in a paper liner. And the reason why I do that is because I detest dirty, filthy cloth bags because they're very delicate, they're hard to clean, and thankfully, down at the very bottom, they actually put in a cloth neck that came up right to about the bottom of the handle, or where the handle hooks into the socket here down at the bottom. So I was able to take a exhaust tube from a later Eureka bag. I strapped it in with zip ties and made sure it was a solid, tight fitting, or as tight as it was going to be. And then I installed an F&G bag because the cloth bag is huge and it can more than compensate for the size of the F&G blown up fully. A couple of interesting things. The headlamp and Eureka logo. I thought the Eureka logo was lit from beneath. It's not. It actually glows when the Eureka, when the headlamp is on. I'm going to turn it on low here. And that's for you, Russell. But as you hear, it's got a very sweet purr to it. Just very well proportioned. Later Eurekas, I think, got a little bit more chunky, obviously, and just didn't have the same panache as the earlier units. Now, I'd like to point out aluminum, plastic. This entire hood assembly, plus the headlight lens, except for the chrome molding that goes around the Eureka logo, it's all plastic. Didn't realize that until I got it home. But, so, up the handle we go. And I'd like to stop right here. Press down to release handle. So, I get this home, and I'm looking down here, no release pedal. And I'm like, well, maybe it's busted. No, not at all. This was very similar to the Hoover Model 60, which had a handle release, and, well, subsequently all of the early Singer A-frames, that rather than having a release pedal, it actually had a mechanism to release the handle down below. So you press down, and back the handle goes to operating position. Now we're going to do a sweet little vacuuming, as we normally do, or as I normally do on these. So, sit back and watch the 2-speed show. Alright, we're going to start on low. It's very smooth. Improves the carpeting very well. And of course then we have the full high speed of the machine. Very, very surprised that I found this machine. As I explained on CBC, when I got to the place where I found this, it was actually buried behind a few, anywhere from a mid-90s F&G upright to a mid-70s Eureka Upright with an orange base. And I did not see this because they had coats hanging along the, yeah, I know, visual aid. You had this, all these coats hanging on this rack where they store the vacuums beneath. So I didn't think that there was anything back there. I thought it was all lined up in front of the coats. Well, I parted the coats, and there it was. So I'm very pleased to have this. It's an amazing, amazing machine. The cord and everything is original. And as I stated, the switch is not where it normally is on a Eureka. Very early ones obviously had them up top, and obviously at some point they turned them around and brought them up front. So, this machine was very well loved and taken care of, in my opinion, because I'm going to spin this over here. The brush roller is a later distribulator. The early ones had, if I'm correct on this, had two strips of bristles. One was a very thin sweeping bristle, and then the others were very thick sweeping bristles. And that was to impart the beating action, because Eureka back at this point absolutely could not use the beater bar patent, because Hoover was suing everybody who even tried. To get to the belt, you have a thumb screw here, and that removes for the belt. It's all very simple and fairly easy to understand, which is very interesting. I notice that the belt protector is missing too. Now back here, how you adjusted the pre-Dial-A-Nap machines is there is an actual knob lever here. Oh, it's that lever. And that lever makes the wheels move to different positions for different types of carpeting. And this is actually part and parcel of the handle release system. And the Eureka It basically says Eureka Williams Corporation, Eureka Vacuum Cleaner Division, Bloomington, Illinois. This was obviously, and it's the model S246. Sorry, it's just not going to come up. With a serial number of 3932436. So, and unlike later Eurekas, there's no stamps or identifiers to let me know exactly what year this is, but clearly late 40s, early 50s. Isn't that amazing? They have this lightweight aluminum, and then they use these heavy cast metal parts. It actually is not a very heavy machine. Oh, I'd also like to point out that these early Eurekas had channels, but they didn't come all the way to the end. So, edge cleaning is, well, okay at best. But, so this is my little Eureka S246. I was a little sidetracked. Previous to the war, Eureka was actually in Detroit, Michigan. And I have found a couple of places that claim that they were either portions of the Eureka factory or, because I live very close to the D. And nothing really is there anymore to give you an absolute 100%. I also understand through things that Rexair started in Detroit too. And I'm sure there was maybe one or two others. I mean, we weren't just known for cars. We actually made washing machines too at one point. So anyway, this is it. And I'm going to make you guys stare at the Ucky wall. And then see you at the races.